Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to take a look at a great game for your Genesis, and that is Contra Hardcore. Released in 1994 by Konami, the title is really appropriate for this game. In fact, just take a look at how it starts. They let you know right from the beginning that this is a game to be taken seriously. Contra Hardcore is a follow-up to the 1992 release on the Super Nintendo, Contra 3: The Alien Wars, and it was for the most part developed by the same team that made that game, but the gameplay is a little bit different in this one. Gone are the somewhat awkward Mode 7 overhead segments. It's mostly side-scrolling. And you also get to choose your own path through the game at several points. And depending on the choices you make, you can either get a good or bad ending. You can toggle between 4 different weapon types once you've picked them all up, and you can also carry bombs. There are 4 characters to choose from, and they all play very differently. They have different heights, different jump abilities, and different weapon sets. So it's best really to try out all of the characters and find which one best suits your playstyle. There are also 2 different shot types. Type 1 allows you to move freely while you're shooting, while Type 2 anchors you in place. And it's important to figure out which shot type will benefit you in a given situation. This game looks incredible, and the soundtrack makes use of all those great crunchy Genesis sounds that you guys know I love so much. With all the manic action and one-hit deaths, this game is quite difficult and rewards practice and repeat play. For instance, you can see here these crazy monkeys throwing axes at you can really give you a hard time. Now, there is a 70 live cheat code and also a weapons code, but I'd recommend against using them. I'd like to take a minute to address a common problem concerning gaming attitudes. A lot of people will use a 30 lives code, or a 70 lives code in this case, and simply hack their way through a game like this. They've even convinced themselves that they're having fun when they do this, but really they're not. The fun of this game is in learning the characters, learning strategies for dealing with enemies, and learning to manage your resources. In short, learning. And you don't learn anything by dying every 5 seconds and never figuring out how to legitimately beat a boss. What's more, you get to see more areas of the game, but you don't have the kind of appreciation that a person who spent weeks trying to get to that next stage has. And if you're playing a game with unlimited continues, you don't have to use them. People complain about developers including unlimited continues as if the developers are responsible for our laziness. Just use some self-control and learn the game. These types of games involve a performance aspect. It's not good enough to know the trick to beating a boss, you have to be able to perform it under pressure. They help build problem-solving skills and enhance concentration. That is, if you're willing to play them the right way. It may be a little frustrating at first, but throw those cheat codes away, learn the game, and do it legit. And then you'll find out just how much fun these kind of games can be. This game is all about the bosses. There are 2 sub-bosses and a final boss just in the first stage alone. And it's important to kind of figure out their patterns and all that sort of thing in order to try to survive. And that brings me to my one slight complaint about the game, which is that it is very memorization heavy.
And I don't think this is necessarily a really bad thing, but some of the boss battles, really, you're kind of screwed the first time if you don't know what the next attack is going to be. The difficulty of the boss battles varies pretty widely, and I do like the fact that it's not a linear difficulty curve. So for instance, each boss is not more difficult than the last one. You'll find some even in the middle of the game, like this one here, that are incredibly difficult, while others even further past that are not quite as hard. But I think this is kind of nice because it gives you a little bit of variety, and that means that everything isn't, the craziest thing you've seen yet. There are also some pseudo 3D effects which I think look pretty good for the Genesis. I wanted to point out this one funny moment that I really enjoy, which is that you're riding on top of a crashing plane and you're just standing on it, and apparently you can just stand there while it crashes and not fall. Now that's hardcore. There are also some secret areas, including a battle arena, and I wouldn't recommend going here unless you've played through the game a few times because it can be quite difficult. All in all, this is a really fantastic game, one of my favorites in the Contra series, and makes a great addition to anyone's Genesis collection, so I highly recommend it. Like always, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.